generally understood. Historians would note that land preceded language, contract, ballot, and vote. Before philosophy learned to measure what it felt, earth was not possessed, only lived in, left, and knelt. The record shows early societies conceived to reign as king, not an object awaiting market, but a circulatory skin. Rituals and not deeds determine who might sow or reap, and governance meant tending, not commanding what to keep. Yet once agriculture settled bodies into place, the theory of possession crept into the civic space. Abundance produced anxiety, and anxiety drew lines until territory hardened into borders over time. The shift was subtle, ontological before it was armed. An epistemic recalibration stating land could be farmed, implying what was cultivated must therefore be owned. A syllogism scholars later claim was self-evidently known. Property is real, the textbook still insists, because the concept stayed long enough to coexist with law, with nation, with empire spinning wheel, until myth and governance fused into something we call real. Property is real, or so the ledgers testify, though the premise rests on metaphysics few remember to justify. Its authority is cultural, durable, and concealed, a worldview mistaken for a feature of the field. Oh, then came lopsided endlessly in modern legal frames, arguing labor sanctified the claim one stakes the names. A philosophical conjecture, now constitutional bedrock, proof that abstractions can become handcuffs on a clock. Enclosure in England offered evidence in land and wool, commons rendered obsolete, aristocracies made whole, not because soil demanded private hierarchies ascent, but because an idea required policy to prove its own intent. Colonial expansion scaled the model overseas. Insistent stewardship was ignorance and conquest expertise. The eugenist cosmologies were categorized as error, so that markets could proceed untroubled by inherited terror. Property then was not merely a regime of law and might, but a philosophy of separation posing as natural right, governing not just acres but imagination's field, deciding what could live, what must serve, and what must heal. Oh, property is real, institutions came to say, because belief repeated long enough becomes the lawful way. What begins as theory ossifies into steel, until dissent sounds naive for questioning the real. Property is real, though its history betrays that permanence is nothing more than centuries of praise. The myth survives because society kneels to the stories it inherits, not necessarily what it feels. Some eras relax the grip, letting commons reappear, but scarcity narratives return whenever power senses fear. Thus history does not march, she circles without end, oscillating between dominion and the urge to tend. Oh, in the present age, satellites are praised to rain from space. Algorithm estimates soil, speculative exchange, value in place. Global capital acquires watersheds with clinical detachment, refining properties lodged interplanetary henchmen. Yet the earth remains unpersuaded by ontological decree. Fault lines shift, rivers reroute, coastlines disagree. No legislature has convinced a storm to honor its design, nor has any courthouse ruled against a mountain's slow incline. So scholars now propose that governance may change again, when citizens remember land is not a noun but next of kin, when responsibility replaces right as the organizing seal, and property becomes a footnote to a more relational real. Property is real, but only in the human mind. A durable construction, persistent situational design, once recognized as chosen rather than revealed. Oh, the myth can breathe, evolve, transform, or be repealed. Oh, property is real, but neither timeless nor complete. Just one philosophy of many that history may delete. Its power rests not in truth, but in how forcefully we kneel, and whether we dare to redefine what counts as real. So the record will state, in language measured and spare, as civilizations govern according to what they believe they bear. Change the belief, and governance must heal, for the earth will long outlast whatever we call real.